In recent weeks, southwestern China's Yunnan province has been facing a natural disaster of immense scale. What began as heavy seasonal rainfall escalated into powerful flash floods and landslides, bringing entire towns to a standstill. Thousands have been displaced, with entire communities cut off from the rest of the world. This wasn't just bad weather, it was a brutal reminder of nature's unpredictable force. Yunnan is famous for its breathtaking scenery, from misty mountains to tropical rainforests and dramatic river canyons. But that natural beauty comes with high vulnerability. When the rains started, they seemed normal. But soon, the skies darkened, rainfall intensified, and rivers overflowed their banks. What followed was pure chaos. In the most affected mountain regions, villages were quickly submerged. Roads were washed away, and entire hillsides collapsed. Landslides sent tons of earth and rock crashing into the valleys. Desperate families fled to higher ground, clutching what little they could. Homes built over generations were reduced to debris in moments. Power grids went down. Communication lines were severed. Rescue operations faced major setbacks as bridges collapsed and roads vanished. In one dramatic instance, nearly 300 tourists were stranded near a sacred mountain range. Helicopters were eventually brought in for evacuation, highlighting just how dire the situation had become. The government swiftly declared a state of emergency. Within hours, thousands of soldiers, firefighters, medical teams, and volunteers were deployed. They braved treacherous terrain to deliver aid, search for the missing, and set up temporary shelters in schools and community centers. Essentials like blankets, food, and clean water were handed out. Amid the destruction, stories of survival began to emerge. One mother recounted how rising water reached the second floor of her home in under an hour. She and her children huddled on the rooftop through a night of relentless rain. Another family barely escaped a landslide that stopped just short of burying their house. As the waters began to recede, the extent of the devastation became clearer. Dozens of homes were completely destroyed. Farmlands were flooded. Critical roadways, essential for both transportation and the economy, were either ruined or completely washed away. Yunnan, a region heavily reliant on agriculture and tourism, now faces a long and painful recovery. Yet in the face of tragedy, resilience shines through. Local volunteers stepped up to provide supplies and emotional support. Neighbors shared generators and fuel. Communities found strength in unity, showing that even in the darkest times, humanity prevails. The Chinese government has pledged support for rebuilding efforts. Engineers are now inspecting damage while relief funds are being distributed to repair infrastructure and restore livelihoods. But for many residents, the emotional trauma will linger long after the floodwaters are gone. This catastrophe is also a wake-up call. Climate experts point to a pattern: rising global temperatures mean heavier rain and more extreme weather events. In mountainous regions like Yunnan, where roads and homes cling to fragile slopes, the risk is magnified. Recovery won't be easy. But as the sounds of construction return, as communities begin to rebuild brick by brick, there's hope. The spirit of Yunnan's people remains unbroken. They've endured disaster before. And with unity, courage, and determination, they'll rise again. Ending music: if this story touched you, consider sharing it to spread awareness. And if you're able, support relief efforts in Yunnan and similar vulnerable regions around the world. Together, we can weather any storm.